G'day and welcome to another episode of Built by Dan. In today's episode, we're going to be installing the front wheel bearing and brake assembly, much like we did last episode for the rear suspension on my GT40 kit car. So the components for the front suspension are very much similar to those that we installed for the rear suspension. However, the front bearing doesn't have the hole in the back of it. On your mat. Go on. Out. On your mat. On your mat. Go on. So the front suspension components are very much the same or similar to the rear suspension components. A couple of the differences are that the wheel bearing doesn't have the hole through the center for the stub axle to pass through. In fact, it has a wheel speed sensor fixed to the back of it that will connect up to the speedo later on. So same with this upright, it doesn't have the hole cut out. It just has a small hole to feed the little plug through, and that's it. Okay, so it's the hub bolted on, or the bearing I should say. We'll now move on, follow the same process. So I'll install the brake rotor and then the hub adapter and then the brake caliper. So there's only a single brake caliper for the front brakes because we don't have the handbrake. So once again, I do intend to remove all these components before the vehicle is completed. So everything's just being done up hand tight. I will put Loctite on a lot of these nuts to hold them on long term. But for now, I just want to make sure that everything fits together. So with all of that on, that holds the rotor aligned. I can now look at bolting the brake caliper on to the upright. So it's just 2 bolts. So they pass through the upright and then the caliper is threaded. And that's it for the front brake and hub assembly. So rather than waiting till the end, I'm going to go grab the wheel and I'm going to throw it straight on. So there we have it. That's the front brake assembly and wheel fitted. I'll jump onto the other side, finish off the driver's side, and then I'll give you an overview of how the car now looks with both the front and rear wheels fitted. Okay, so now for the driver's side. Again, the wheel bearing has the speed sensor attached to it. Just feed that through the hole in the upright and then bolt it on. Okay, so that's both front wheels, brakes, wheel bearings installed. Now I'll spin the car around and be able to have a look at what it looks like with both front and rear wheels installed. So there you have it. It's starting to look like a car. It's starting to look like a GT40. I'm pretty excited by this. I can't wait to get those wheels taken off now, get the centers painted orange and get a set of tires on them so that I can sit it on the ground. Obviously there's still a couple of other things that need to be sorted before I can do that, such as the rear suspension and the mounting of those springs once that gets resolved with the manufacturer. But all in all, I'm really impressed with how it's looking. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you're enjoying these episodes, please hit the like button, consider subscribing so that you don't miss future releases, and be sure to share this with anyone who you may think might be interested. I appreciate the support that I'm getting to date from all of you. And that's going to give us a better look. You all right? On your mat. Go on your mat. Good boy. On your mat. Go on.